Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Built for the Stage podcast. This is Joe Roscoe, founder and host of Built for the Stage, Broadway's #1 fitness platform with actors in over 20 Broadway shows and other stages and TV film sets across the world. We are your one-stop shop for all things acting and fitness. So if you want to try Built for the Stage, go to builtforthestage.com and I'll be working with you on an interactive fitness app. Actors are athletes, so train like one. All right, let's move on to our special guest. Originally from Finland, ran across our guest on Instagram, saw that they were a model, an actress, but they caught my eye that they were involved with some combat sports as well, something that I've always been interested in. And yeah, I just thought that they're very well-rounded. So reached out to see if they'd be on the show. They sent me a little bit about themselves, and they're truly like a go-getter. I know that this is going to be inspirational for a lot of people. Our guest just made a way. So I can't wait for you to get to know Alexandra Nylund. Please welcome to the show, Alexandra.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. It is, what time is it? Where is it? Where
It's
are you?
5 p.m. in Helsinki right now, so there's a bit of time difference. It's 10 a.m. for you, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So I hope you had a good day. It's been a dizzying time with scheduling because here in the States, we went through a time change recently back, I think on Sunday. So I've been doing quite a few international guests. So I've been kind of dizzy inside of like, wait.
Yes, same. I think we had the same issue actually when we were scheduling this because it went from summertime to wintertime. Was it the same in the States?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
it messed it up a bit.
Right. All right. Let's rewind to getting started with a camera in your home and making these movies and productions with your family. Like, I saw that your grandfather wrote plays. What was it about you at an early age that made you have this desire to be in the arts, or as an actress or a cinematographer or writer, any of those things? What was it in that early age?
I don't even know where it actually came from. I just always loved film and filmmaking and acting. And my mom worked at a bank and my dad worked as a teacher in a school. So they were like not really that into the same things as I was. I didn't even know that my great grandpa was a writer and had written like plays until last year when I found some of his plays and some letters that he had written with the director of the theater and like the director thanking him for his plays and all these. But so I didn't know that he was a writer. I thought I was like the only one in my family that was interested in arts, and they didn't talk about it that much. I did know he wrote some poems, but I didn't think much of it. I was just like, a lot of people write poems, especially like old people.
Yeah.
But I've always just liked it, and at home I used to be the one that was always making the home videos and narrating them annoyingly with my, like, it's really embarrassing to watch. Like, I'm like all in, and then the way I have a younger sister, and I like to use her in those projects sometimes and direct her and make up a choreography or something and use her and direct her. So it's like I was really like a perfectionist with those kind of things, but my sister was being so patient. So it's nice, but it's fun to watch back at those things. And there was also some competitions, like kids competitions, where you had to dress up or make a short video of a certain team with a certain team, and then those kind of competitions I also like to participate in, and I usually won at least some sort of prizes or got placed, and I was really passionate about that.
How cool was that, finding your grandfather's plays and those letters? That had to have been a special moment.
Yeah, and I was like really surprised that nobody had like talked about it. Like they mentioned it when I was younger, but it didn't really like stick with me. I didn't quite understand it, and they didn't think it was something they would need to mention again until I found those letters, and that was really exciting to see. I wish there was some material from those times they could watch, because I would really like to see him. He also had some one-man plays that he wrote them and then he also acted them.
Cool.
And then he also did some other theater plays with actors in it.
Nice. Well, he would have been proud of you then. You taking on that family lineage of being a writer and performer. All right. So then you shared with me a story of that you were interested in TV and movies, and you would go on trips and you'd reach out to producers or artistic teams putting on these TVs or films and ask if you could just go to set and shadow them. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, I was quite young when we got the first computer, and I started using Google and googling like people, and obviously you always start by googling like your own name, just the first name, because when you're young you don't understand that you have to have like a first and last name. You're just Alexandra, and then there's really like odd things that comes up, and then I just realized that I could search for people, and I made a Facebook account, but it wasn't quite something that people at my age used to do at the time. Facebook was quite new as well, and then I searched for some people that whose work I really liked, and then I contacted them and said, hey, I'm traveling to the States next year this time, could I please come on a set and just help out or watch for one day? And they agreed, and they just thought I was really young, and it was like a cute thing that some young girl is sending them a message, but I was really serious about it. I was like, yeah, like this. It wasn't a joke for me, or like, oh, sorry, I can't hear you right now.
You would come with a notebook and questions, or like what would you do once you got there?
Yeah, pretty much. And I was so happy when they sent like the call sheet and everything, all the information. I researched everyone and like wanted to see more of their work, and I got to know more people and talk with them on set. And I was so excited to get there. So the day before, I always took the bus or the train to the set just to see how long it would take me to get there, so I would be on time. And then usually I still arrive like 2 hours too early, and then I had a coffee and just walked around outside like the creepy person, just waiting there. But
Yeah.
I just tried to take it all in, and I was really passionate about it and really excited to be there. So it's something like I still feel that way even now when you go to set and like you meet people who are like-minded. You're like, okay, I can't believe I get to do this, and it's something you're still grateful for.
Right. And in conjunction with wanting to be an actress, modeling started when? When did your modeling start?
I did some commercials as a younger, like when I was younger, for like playground just and stuff, like because they sell these slides and things like that, and then for some clothing brands. But I wasn't really that interested in modeling. But when I was about 16, I got scouted for some competitions, and I did those until I was 18, and then I traveled a bit and represented Finland in Top Model Worldwide in the UK, and then Sweden in China in a competition called Miss Model of the World, and it was like quite a big modeling competition. Like there's someone representing every country, so there was like over 70 girls, and it was quite a big thing. Like the arenas in China and the whole, like all the details that they put into that competition. So it was quite a great experience, and you get to work with different people and make up teams and make great new connections there too.
Have you stayed in touch with any of those girls that you met during that time?
I have, yeah, I have, and it's really nice to see what everyone's been up to lately. And then also, like, there's some obviously you make friends there, and then you want to keep working with those people that you really like and feel like are genuinely nice people. So then it's nice when you can work together and or invite each other.
Would you said it's nice to work with genuinely nice people. Would you say that that's like a big part of what you find in people's success in the industry is like sometimes talent is important, but like also just being a good human being that people want to work with is also an important thing as well.
I think that matters a lot.
Yeah,
Like, because if you're going to be a bad person to work with or difficult, it's like it's gonna kill the vibe on set for everyone, and it's not like it's not someone you want to bring back. But there's always going to be people like that, so you just have to kind of suck it up. But I prefer to work with people who are genuinely nice and have a big passion for what they do, and I try to find people like that.
sure, sure. All right, let's get into the story that was near Christmas Eve when you're watching this show and you felt like you should reach out to casting of the show and somehow, yeah. First off, how'd you get in contact with them, or like, yeah, run us through this story because I was baffled by it. I loved it.
Yeah, it was a show that I've been watching. Like, it was one of my favorite shows. It still is, and I have been watching it with my parents before. And I came back from a really bad work shift, and I just felt like what am I gonna do? Like there's like I wanted to do more acting, but I have just gotten back to Finland and I didn't know what like which way I should take this, and I don't know, it wasn't not a good day, and I just walked past my parents watching that show, and I thought like, okay, I should apply. Like just I should just write casting, like even if it's not like the typical thing you just go and do. But I was like, I'm gonna find out who does the casting for this and just send them an open like my CV and my information and some of my show reel and try it. And but I didn't think much of it because it was almost Christmas Eve, so lots of productions are on holiday. So I didn't think they would get back to me, and especially not that fast. But the next day, during my work shift, I had a missed call, and I was like, oh, it's probably from work because I had messed up my work clothes that day. It was a really hectic morning. So I was like, okay, they're probably calling about the new clothes. And then I called them back and it was casting and they were like, can you come in as soon as possible? We'd really like to meet you. And like, but they're going on holiday soon. Like if I have time to come there before Christmas. And it was the week of the Christmas Eve. So it was quite fast. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll come in. And they were like, I don't know if we're going to do this part. We've been searching for someone for quite a while, but we're not sure yet. Like it hasn't felt right. So we may or may not do it, but let's try. And there were still a few other girls auditioning for it too. And I went there the next day. And then after that, they said that they would call me before Christmas if I get it. And the very next morning, they called me and they said, we are perfect for the role. And we'd really like to have you. And you're just what we were looking for, which was so exciting because a few like years ago, I didn't even make it as an extra or a background to that show. And then suddenly I had my own character, which was, I couldn't even believe it. So I think it's not even about like, you shouldn't take no's so personally because sometimes it's just not the right timing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Are you allowed to say what the show was?
Yeah, it's called Salatut Elämät, which is Secret Lives. And it's like a Nordic TV drama here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, I'll have to look that up or email you about it so we could put it in the description of this episode. Where do you think you get that from? Your bravery or just courage to be like, I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to contact these people or I'm going to make a way. Like, was it natural? Was it someone else in your life that kind of rubbed off on you? Where is this quality from, do you think?
I don't know. It's not like my parents maybe didn't quite think it was a good idea in the beginning to just write people, but then when they saw the results of it, like it's just networking anyway. Like nowadays that's what people do, right? Like you use Instagram or Facebook and you meet new people just like we did with you. So, but at the time it wasn't such a big thing yet. But I don't know. You just have to have the courage and don't take things too personally. But I don't think you should just ask for favors or something from people. You should like think about them as someone you could work with together, and like see what you could both offer each other. And sometimes you just meet great new friends that are nice to talk with, and you can share different problems that you've been experiencing, like in this field, or have someone to relate to, and that's just as important.
Yeah. How has it been? Totally agree. How has it been transitioning post-pandemic into like this pursuit of continuing a career in performance? A lot more like self-tapes or what's been different for you within the industry since the pandemic has passed?
Well, I think there's more self-tapes for sure, and there's more opportunities abroad too because you're allowed to. It's more acceptable to do those like self-tapes or online auditions nowadays. Like it wasn't such a big thing, at least not here. I don't know how it was there, but it was more of an in-person audition, so you don't have to fly there to be there in person anymore, which I think is a good thing. It has opened like a lot more doors for everyone, I think.
Yeah.
It was a hard time.
And what is your home? Where is your home base? Where you are now, or do you ever go to London, or what's your home base?
I'm currently in Helsinki and I have my apartment here.
Okay.
But it depends on the productions. But I've been in London too, and especially for school and things like that. But it really depends on the season. But currently I'm in Helsinki, and we're working on some new projects and writing some more. So this is a good base for that.
Okay. So is this all on like the hush hush, or are you allowed to talk about anything you're working on right now?
Well, there's one thing I can tell you a little bit about. It's a horror project, and there's lots of international people involved in it, from different countries, and these are all people that we've met each other online and then met at festivals and things like that, and made stronger friendships and bonds throughout the years. And I think it's going to be something really exciting because there's so many people from different continents involved in this. But that's all I can say.
Very
But
cool.
it's going to be fun.
Okay, we'll be on the lookout for it. You let
Yeah.
me know when it's going to be released to the public.
I will.
So let's get into what I saw on your Instagram about the different forms of like combat sports or fighting. Did you take this up for like film and TV stuff, or you did it for fun? Or tell me a little bit about it.
Fun, yeah, just for fun. Basically, I've always had plenty of different hobbies. Like I couldn't choose. I don't know. I've played the piano. I've sang in the choir. I've been a Girl Scout. I've done figure skating. I've done handball. Everything. It's been quite an expensive childhood for my parents to always get new gears for everything. But I'm thankful that they let me try everything, because that's how I figured out what I wanted to do. And that's also something I just saw some people doing different sort of combat sports, and I got interested in that. And then I started at this one. It was called the Savate Club. It's like French kickboxing. That's how it started. But I also like to watch some MMA fights, and I had some DVDs and stuff. And then I somehow on YouTube I stumbled upon this group of people who were like editing. They have different fun clips out of different sports, and I really like to edit some of my own, or like narrate some things. It was really embarrassing. I'm so glad that channel doesn't exist anymore. Like I checked a million times because I couldn't bear to watch it. I was so young. I was super serious about it, and then I had these UFC CDs as well, and I was like, yeah, I don't even know if I can get into it. But they had this reality show regarding like UFC fighters as well. And I really like to watch that, and then like edit these clips and post them online. And I had my own like channel for that. Yeah.
Okay, so you were into this. You were like,
yeah. But I'm so glad the channel doesn't exist anymore, because.
But no more. You're not. You don't. You're not a fan of this anymore.
I still do it. Like I really enjoy kickboxing, especially, or so but it's a great workout as well. And I think it's really important when it comes to acting too, to like work out. Especially you get the excess energy out, and it helps with a lot of things. It kind of calms you down, and also I think it does really good. And then also when it comes to speech, like if you work out before, I think you'll be way calmer at the auditions, for example. I didn't understand how important that was until I went to school for this, and we had to work out at least an hour every morning, and then I realized how different your performance would be and how much it affects you.
When you were at school working out for an hour, was it as a group of you, as a class, or you did it on your own? Okay.
It was like as a class, yeah. And at the time it was like, why do we have to do this for an hour each morning? Like, and then we have lots of hours after that of like acting still, and you're all sweaty, but it was really I could see the effects of it, and I could understand why we did that. Okay,
back to the French kickboxing. You said something about the outfits were fun. What tell me about it. What do you mean?
So for those who don't know what savate is, it's like sort of like a French kickboxing, but you have different sort of outfits. It's like almost like some overalls that are usually like red and blue or something. It looks quite funny. It's very different from the normal what you see with people with like shorts and a belt and
right.
The style is different.
I'm trying. Oh, I think what you just described, the overall thing, I think we call them singlets.
Yeah, I think singlets probably. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the wrestlers, not what you think about like on TV, but like collegiate wrestling or Olympic wrestling, they wear these singlets, or even
it looks something like that, like the wrestling outfit, but it's for kickboxing.
Got it.
So it's different, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, let's do this fun little game. I don't know. We'll see how it transfers from culture to culture. You'll probably teach us some stuff. I want to put you on what we call the BFTS hot seat. Super fun questions, chill, relaxed questions. The first question: if you're to walk into a room and a TV's on and there's a movie playing that you've seen hundreds of times, but no matter what, you always have to stop and watch that movie, what movie would it be that you always have to watch?
It's probably Adam Sandler's Just Go With It. I don't know. It's
Um,
something I've seen it so many times. Like even my family makes fun of me for it. Like, but it's so much fun.
love
Like
it.
any Adam Sandler movie or like those comedies. Like you just can't watch them enough.
Okay, perfect. Great, great first answer.
Yeah.
We get to see your music playlist for, let's say, commuting, like driving or walking, taking the train, whatever. What is one or two of your go-to songs that always will start your day off right?
Oh, there's a Swedish rapper called Belle. She's really badass, and her song. Actually, there's two of her songs that are always something. I play them on my way here too. And then there's
Bell, Bell, just
B, yeah, LL, BLL, yeah.
okay. So you think she's on Spotify? Do you think?
She's on Spotify, yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll check her out. I'll check her out.
Great. I don't know. My music taste changes a lot, so I listen to like more 50s music, and then also like rap or hip hop. It depends on the mood, but Belle is definitely the one.
All right. Okay, good. I learned something here. I'm gonna check her out.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
say Swedish rap.
Yeah, Swedish tribe. All right, cool. So you're reincarnated, coming back to the earth as an animal. What animal are you going to choose and why?
I'd really like to be my corgi, because I really love corgis. Like it's, I don't know, like being someone's pet dog. Like how much fun would that be? Because you get to do like almost human stuff and eat some human food and still travel with them. Like,
True.
yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. And to meet other dogs, and you don't have that many responsibilities either. It's just eat and
Yes.
sleep.
When I asked this question, a few people have said a dog, and I think that's like the biggest thing is that you eat, you sleep, you travel. You don't have to do any chores. You just have to love your owner, and that's it. You just have a
Yeah.
great.
And you have a home to go to. Like you don't have to think about where you're gonna sleep.
Right. Okay. Last silly hot seat question. If you weren't trying to be in the arts, like an actress, a model, a writer, anything like that, is there any other interests, or maybe you're doing it now? Is there any other career interests that you would have?
I'd really love to be a police officer or a detective. I really like that. Yeah, I worked as a security guard, and then I sort of got like from some work jobs, I sort of got a taste of things that they do, and I was really interested in security or that field in general. So I think I would probably apply to be a police officer. I really like that.
Love it. Okay, you're off the hot seat. Congratulations. Okay. Who would you say is like one or two of the most like influential people in your career that you've come across, things you've learned from? I always try to ask questions to just give insight to our viewers or listeners of things that our guests have learned that they could also learn from as well.
I think the first person who comes to mind is definitely Aleksi Lubomirski, if you know him. It's from this photographer. He's really good. I actually got to be on set with him for a day when I visited New York when I was younger. And it really stayed with me because he's such a kind person. And even back then, like I remember there was like vegan food on set, and the way he treated everyone was so nice. And even for like me, I was just like a young girl who wanted to spend a day there and see how they do things and learn from this industry. But he was so kind to me and asking me how I was, and like even during a hectic day, like he took everyone like in and remembered like a talk to everyone, and like he was such a nice person. And I just feel like that's someone that I would like to be, or like I would like to be that kind of person for someone else, and like show them that you can actually be a good person and a kind person and still be doing well.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
think that's so important.
That's a running theme in this episode then. Be talented, but be kind first. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so going back to your younger self, you all grown up now, Alexandra. What's one thing, if you could go back to talk to yourself as a young person, would you give yourself any advice to do something different or new or relax that, hey, you're on the right path? What kind of advice would you give yourself?
Yeah, probably exactly that. To just relax, like don't be in such a hurry. Don't like be too hard on yourself. Like it's not. I think we put too much pressure on ourselves because I think maybe the social media. This has been talked about a lot lately, but I think that's true. Like you don't have to rush things, and it's okay to make mistakes. Like even if it feels like it took away a few months of your you could have done something differently and ended up in a different spot, but I think you can't be too harsh on yourself. Like you're gonna learn and you have time.
You
Yeah.
have time. Oh, I love that. A mentor of mine always says that. They're like, "Hey, how much longer do you think you're gonna live?"
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know, 40 years, 50 years maybe if I'm lucky or whatever. That's a long time.
it
And if
is.
you're sitting there at, 15 years old or 25 years old or 30, you have so much time. You never know what can happen. You never
Yeah,
know.
and especially in these times, like we have all kinds of equipment available for ourselves. Like we have cameras in our phones and things like that. You can create things yourself, and even it doesn't matter how old you are, you can still learn to do things, and you don't have to let anyone else decide what you can be. I
Mm,
honestly think that we have like really great resources nowadays, so
yeah.
that also helps.
What have you taught yourself or learned lately within the past year or couple of years, like a new skill, whether it's like producing or coming up with new film tactics or whatnot? Anything new that you've taught yourself lately?
Well, I worked on patience a lot because like like I've been trying to tell myself it's okay to take your time, but skill wise, I don't know. It's like you always learn something new, or when you see someone else doing something in a different way.
Yeah.
But I think patience even applies to that because sometimes with some emails or some work projects, like it's okay to take your time and to get back to that person, like with and do your because sometimes you have to just breathe a bit and like think something through, and then you might come up with a better idea or a better point of view to correct the script or something like that. I think, yeah,
Yeah.
just give yourself time. I think that's
Yeah. I think the patience and giving yourself time also like gives yourself that pass on. It doesn't have to be perfect at first, like you just have to get started and be patient, like you're saying, and allowing yourself to grow in your skills and your craft. I love that.
And I saw a really great quote. I don't remember exactly how it went, but there was someone talking about uh, writing a script, and you have to remind yourself that you're at first. It doesn't have to be perfect, and don't have to know all the details yet because you're in the beginning just shoveling sand into a box basically, and you can edit it later. And I think that's so important. That especially hit me with like you don't have to have all the details figured out yet.
Yeah.
It's okay to just because that's gonna stop the creativity if you just think about it too much.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Alexandra, thanks so much. I'm definitely sharing this on our app with our clients. Sometimes in their workout, I'll post the link to a couple of podcasts that I've done. And
Yeah.
this is definitely going to be one of them. So much inspiration and insight. And you just being a go getter, once again, like super inspiring to me. Like you are motivating me for this day and week to come and all the projects I have. So thanks so much for sharing
Well,
all that.
thank you so much for having me. I hope to see
Yeah.
you soon.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right.
And I'll
Thanks so
let you
much.
know if I'll visit New York again.
Yeah, let me know. And also let me know about when your projects are releasing so that we can share it with our following.
I'll do that. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Bye. All right, everyone. Alexandra Nylund. Be on the lookout for her projects to come. Make sure you follow her on Instagram, AlexXinee. You can see that in the description of this episode. I'm Joe Roscoe with Built for the Stage. If you want to try that free trial, go to builtforthestage.com or follow us on the gram at Built for the Stage. Actors or athletes, train like one.